Welcome back to Mixology Hacks, my lovely friends, and welcome back to another video. So we've done quite a few syrups on the channel and I thought it's time to start kind of shaking things a little bit, okay? So today we're gonna do a tincture, and most precisely we're gonna do a cacao nib tincture because it's a winter. It's nearly Christmas actually in a few days, so this video is going to be quite short hopefully compared to other videos on the channel, but as always we're not gonna rush things because I want you to follow step by step so you can actually recreate whatever I try to teach you here. Why tinctures? Because they are a wonderful thing to enhance your cocktails. So when it comes to tinctures, you can kind of separate the categories in three: solutions, tinctures and concentrates. So solutions is basically, let's say, a saline solution. When you have salt and water, you can basically control the level of salt, and with precise droplet you can use the precise drops for each cocktail to enhance the flavor when you use saline solution. So usually it's concentrated but not highly concentrated. However, it's entirely up to you and depends what you want to achieve. You can have a different percentage of concentration. Usually with the saline solution it's 20 to 80, so 20 grams of salt in 80 grams of water, which is highly concentrated for a salt, but it's still not concentrate as a highly concentration. Tincture, on the other hand, level things up. It's usually you're using 20 to 60% of the element which you want to create tincture from. In this case today we're doing cacao nib, which is gonna be combined with a spirit, and in my case it's gonna be vodka. So when it comes to tincture, we're introducing alcohol, and in this case today we're gonna be introducing a vodka. So it's usually between 20 and 60%, as I mentioned, of the element which you want to create tincture from. With the cacao nibs today, for example, if I'm be using 100 grams of vodka or 100 milliliters, I'll be using minimum 20% of cacao nibs, which is gonna be 20 grams, okay? But we're probably gonna go today a little bit higher, maybe somewhere 30 or 40%, because I want to create a tincture which have more burst of flavor, because we're gonna use a small amount in a cocktails, or you can use obviously in a cocktails, and this is gonna have, it's gonna kind of bring more flavor to your cocktail. Concentrates, on the other hand, it's basically what it says on the tin, concentrate, so it's highly concentrated. So for example, let's say if we elevate this tincture today and go with 80–90% of cacao nibs to 100 milliliter of vodka, this is gonna be a highly concentrated cacao nib infusion or solution or tincture or concentrate, whatever you want to call it. So the line is very thin between all of them because they kind of a crossover, but for the purpose of all this, you know, creation on the channel and in basically in mixology, we kind of like to separate them in categories. So today we're going to start with the cacao nib tincture, and I do decide to kind of do it cacao because in a winter season you can do a lovely things. For example, let's say you want to create brandy Alexander, you can add cacao nib tincture to elevate the cacao liqueur which you're using in the brandy Alexander. Or you want to create maybe hot rum like a butter toddy, but you want to add a little bit of element of kind of a chocolate cacao, you can use the tincture, but you don't need to use so much. It's not going to change that much the ABV of the cocktail, but it's going to bring a flavor. So many different ways to use it, and there's kind of a few ways to do a tincture. So one of the ways to use vacuum chamber or a Sous Vide, where you can mix the cacao nib with the vodka in a vacuum bag, put it on the water bath, let's say for 130 degree, 135 Celsius for about an hour, and this is kind of gonna cook the vodka again. With the cacao nibs, the hot water is gonna help the cacao nibs to release the flavor and infuse with the vodka. That's one way. But what about if you want to do a quick infusion? And this is what we're gonna do today. Quick infusion, usually it's done very easy by using an IC press. Now, depends of the IC press you have, you can do a different amount, obviously. Mine it's half a liter, and this is a Nitro Press. So this one specifically is designed to use nitrogen cartridges. You can still use CO2 cartridges with this one, but in general it's designed to use nitrogen cartridges, because the way how it's made, the nozzle inside you have like a small, kind of like a sieve, because with this one you can infuse using a full, like a cubes of fruit, or like a, you know, not just liquid inside, but you can use fresh fruit. So when it comes to tincture, usually they're basically extracting flavor from fruit and in some cases animal fat. But because it's mixology, we're not going to talk about animal fat. It's not going to be used that much. However, let's say you want to make a quick infusion of maybe do a bacon and bourbon, you know what I mean? To do like a nice smoky barbecue old fashioned, you can do very quick with this. Today we're going to stick to the cacao nib, okay? So what's basically happening? The nitrogen, the difference between nitrogen and CO2, it's simple. CO2, it's carbonated, so it's carbonating the drink, it's introducing carbonation, the small bubbles, totally changing the texture of the drink. When the nitrogen cartridges, the nitrogen gas is doing totally different. Still introduce very, very tiny bubbles, but it doesn't change the structure of the drink, making it fizzy. In fact, making it more creamy, more smooth, more elegant for drinking, and also because it's very thin bubbles and it's a very thin gas, it's going through the, in this case, the cacao nibs, and it breaking the structure of the cacao nibs and extract very quick the flavor from the cacao nibs. Could happen with raspberries, with strawberries. I've done before like a quick infusion with raspberries, and it's absolutely amazing. So you're avoiding any cooking, any heat, any waiting time. You can basically do everything in pretty much like 10-15 minutes, and that's what we're going to do today. Now, is it expensive to do it? Not really, because you can get IC press which use CO2 and nitrogen cartridges at the same time. You can get a good one. I will leave link in the description few which I recommend, because it's very important to get a quality IC press, okay? These things work under pressure, so you want to be safe and you want something which you may pay a little bit more, but you're going to use it on the long term. You don't want to change it every year. Ooh, sorry. So there you go. What we're going to do today. First of all, I'm very prepared, and I am, I promise. But I need to grab the cartridges, which is just behind me here. Now depends, let me just see where they are. Okay, there we go. Okie dokie. So to make a quick infusion, you're gonna need 2 cartridges. Now, because we're making a very express infusion, very quick, we gotta push a little bit more. So this is mean we are not gonna filling up the IC press or the actual vessel to the maximum, because we're gonna introduce 2 nitro cartridges inside, so we wanna leave some space. Also, I don't wanna make too much. So I'm probably gonna be making around 300 ml. Something like that, which is gonna work absolutely fantastic for me. Okay, my friends, so what do you need for the cacao nib tincture? So you're gonna need vodka, any vodka. If you find more high proof, it's gonna be even better. This one, it's the regular like 40 ABV, which is 80 proof. 90-95 proof could be better, because the alcohol is gonna break the cacao nibs even further and it's gonna extract a little bit more, but it's not a big deal. Like I say, we're gonna compensate with a more percentage of the cacao nibs. Then you're gonna need obviously the IC press with the nitro cartridges. And finally, the most important, you'll be needing cacao nibs. Now, I've got organic cacao nibs. However, just grab cacao nibs, which it's a good one, don't buy cheap, and make sure they are good quality, okay? Finally, you'll be needing a vessel with a coffee filter. Like in my case, I have my straight away coffee maker here, so that's what I'm gonna use. But if you don't have one, just get paper coffee filters, some kind of a vessel, so you can obviously separate the cacao nibs after the infusion and bottle your tincture in a bottle, of course. So you're gonna need a small bottle, and pretty much this is it. So if you're ready, we're gonna start making this. And first of all, the first thing first, okay, I need to measure. So I'm gonna do 300 ml of cacao nib tincture. This is mean I'm gonna be going with 40% here of the cacao nibs compared to the 300 ml of the vodka, which is 4 by 3, 120. So 120 grams we're gonna go. Let me just zero that. Okay, so we're gonna go with 120 grams of the cacao nibs. Oh, smells fantastic. So let's see. I think I kind of underestimate the vessel I need. So I'm gonna put 40 first time. And here you go. I'm gonna get a small funnel because the only way to put these cacao nibs into my icy press is to use something like a funnel, or you know, something to help to don't go everywhere, because the icy press, obviously the opening on the top, it's not that big. So you gotta be creative here. Use whatever you can. So we did 40. We're gonna do another 40. There you go. Perfect. And another 40. And I think that is gonna be laugh on me now, because when I bought this pack, I didn't look how heavy it is. It's 125 grams. That is just insane. I could have just put everything in. Could I? I could, but hey, we gotta measure, because that's what it's Mixology Hacks. We work here precisely, because it's not just making things on the eye. Obviously, 5 grams more won't do much difference, but look these things, George. Look these things before you start recording. Anyway, this is gonna be an extremely heavy tincture, I can tell you that. All right. Just to prove the fact, I'm gonna leave the 5 grams back in the pack, because as I say, we're doing exact 120, yeah? Now we're gonna need 300 ml of the vodka. Let's get a jigger. What we having here, 50, okay. So as I mentioned, my press, it's 500 ml to the top. Obviously, because we have already the cacao nib inside, this is gonna kind of like increase the volume. So I think my math should be absolutely fine. With 120 grams of cacao nib and 300 ml of vodka, I should be just under the maximum filling point of my icy press. There we go. Beautiful. When you're doing tinctures, you can, like as I mentioned, you can do it with anything. If you're fancy doing with some fruit, feel free to do it. We don't need this measuring anymore. We don't need this in anymore. We're nearly ready. You see, it's more chatting today than actually action, but hey, have to be done. So I hope you're ready for Christmas, because it's like, what is it today? I'm filming on Wednesday, you're gonna see it on Thursday. So yeah, you have a couple of days left until Christmas. Fabulous. I hope you enjoy your time off, whatever you do. I won't be off, because obviously hospitality never sleep. I'll be working, but hey. Now, when it's come to the infusion, we use 2 cartridges, okay? So first we're gonna charge one. Wonderful. And we're gonna give it a little shake. So a very short shake, about 5-6 times. I did 7, okay? Doesn't matter. So what this is helping, it's to incorporate the nitrogen gas with the vodka and the cacao nibs and start doing the magic, breaking through the cacao nibs. But one cartridge is not enough, as I mentioned, so we're gonna infuse with one more. We're gonna charge with one more, not infuse. Slowly. There you go. So now when it's charged with the second cartridge, you have to shake every 25-30 seconds for 15 minutes. So get your watch or whatever you have timer and put timer for 15 minutes and shake 2-3 times every 25-30 seconds. I will see you soon because obviously you don't want to watch me doing this for 15 minutes. But yeah, remember, 15 minutes, every 25-30 seconds, shake a few times. Okay, I'll see you shortly. Okay, my friends, we are 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes away from final shake and releasing the tincture, but while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna grab my rum for, look at that. It's been a lovely advent calendar of rum. Just don't forget shaking, okay? And it's so funny because the one which it's today is discarded banana peel rum, which is so funny because I am planning a video on how to make a banana liqueur for your home bar or your professional bar if you want to make your own. And if you watch the video on the banana syrups, we're gonna use some of these techniques, but we're gonna make a banana liqueur. So make sure if you're new to the channel to subscribe, to stay tuned. Let's see where we are. Yeah. Make sure you stay tuned because I'm gonna start slowly introducing a different section to the mixology hacks, obviously. I don't wanna throw so much information on you in once, but we start with syrups, now we're moving to tinctures, we're gonna go to science of smoke, then we're gonna go to making our own liqueurs. Of course, we're gonna explore more the tinctures and the solutions and the concentrates. The science of smoke is gonna have few videos, so it's not just one video per topic. It's gonna have different techniques and different ways and different ingredients to show you. But yeah, cheers. Oh, that's wonderful. I love how people use the banana peel, which is discarded, and create a wonderful rum. Now, 35 seconds left. So what we're gonna do here, when it's come to the end, you have to release the gas. Now, when you're releasing the gas, it's have to happen fairly quickly, but not very fast, obviously. The idea is more quicker you release the gas, more flavor you're gonna get from the cacao nibs. Don't ask me how it's work, but that's how it is. There you go. 10 seconds. Let's give it a last shake. Okay. So when you're releasing the gas, 2, 1, 0. Done. There we go. Done. It's flushing done. Fantastic. So when you're releasing the gas, it needs to be on a 45 degree. Make sure you get some bowl like that because it may have some little spillage. And of course, grab shaker or a glass cup or anything which you can put the top of the icy press, and it needs to be 45 degree, and release the gas as quick as you can, okay? All right, we're nearly there. Depends on the icy press you're using. Like I said, this one it's specially designed for nitrogen cartridges, so it's have kind of a few filters inside, which obviously helps. But if it's a different icy press, you may have a little spillage. So it depends how much volume of the liquid you put inside. If it's really to the max, you may have a little dribble. So it's nice to have kind of a prepared to don't get messy. All right. I'm gonna move this on the back. Get a little towel. I always like to use towel, don't know why, but just in case. and just slightly open your icy press. There you go. So good. Now what's gonna happen here, you're not going to be straining straight away, okay? You put this on the side, give it a good listen. It's still bubbling inside, okay? I wish I can show you, but it's still bubbling. Basically, it's a foam that much inside. So you have to wait a little bit to the bubbling to stop. So the gas have to stop all the reaction inside before you actually strain your tincture and bottle it. So give it a little swirl. Yeah, it's a lot of bubbles. So it's probably gonna be around a minute, so-ish, something like that. So I'm gonna cut here, have a little sip of my wonderful banana discard rum, and I'll see you in a second, okay? Okay, it's fading away, but it's still a little bit bubbling inside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strain it and I'll leave it open before I actually bottle it, because you don't have to see how to bottle a liquid to the bottle, okay? I hope you know how to do this. So grab your vessel, your coffee filter, if you have one of these for a coffee filters, you know, a little holder or whatever you're using. But also I will suggest get a sieve, and the reason why is because obviously you can catch some of the cacao nibs here instead of blocking your filter straight away, and any small parts gonna be stopped by the coffee filter, okay? So slowly start pouring, and of course you're gonna have to be patient here because coffee filter is gonna take time. Now it may not be completely clear, so we don't doing clarification here, yeah, we're doing tincture. If you want to do a clarification, there is a methods to do it. Probably the easiest here without introducing any extra flavor is to do it with agar agar, but this is going to be a totally different video on about clarifications and the different techniques to clarify different liquids, because there's many other like kind of options. You can freeze, you can use agar agar, you can use pectin, you can use milk clarification. It depends on the ingredients you're using. It's a different type of clarification. Today we're doing tincture, so all we need is just basically our tincture. It doesn't matter if it's clear or no. It won't be very cloudy, but it's not going to be clear as vodka, as the vodka we put in advance. And if you look at it already, you see how brown it is. This is mean the nitrogen gas. It's break down the nibs, the cacao nibs. It's infuse them to the vodka, and it's just, it smells fantastic. It's kind of a pretty much, first of all, we created a tincture. Second, from this one, if you add a little bit of water or a sugar syrup to dilute and to lower down the ABV, you can basically have a nice cacao liqueur, homemade liqueur. So it's simple as that. From concentrated tincture, create your liqueur. So you can have two ingredients in once. You can leave a little bit for the tincture to use in cocktails, and the rest of it you can mix with sugar syrup and have a wonderful cacao liqueur. Maybe do a vanilla sugar syrup, so you have a little bit of vanilla and cacao. The opportunities, you know, the sky's the limit, as they say, because you can make so many different things. You can maybe create a coconut syrup with the coconut sugar and mix it with the cacao. Is going to be absolutely fantastic. And saying that, I think I'm gonna try it because I have organic coconut sugar, which is beautiful. I think if you watch the video on the winter stout syrup, that's where I use some of the organic coconut sugar, and it turns out fantastic. This syrup is just heaven. So here, yeah, I may do something. I'm not gonna film it, but I may do something. I'm just giving you ideas why I'm kind of clarifying or straining my tincture. So basically, guys, here is where I'm gonna finish, because what's gonna happen now is I'm gonna leave this to take the time, because you don't want to watch 15-20 minutes dripping down the tincture. But what I want to say, the flavor, it's absolutely amazing. On the nose, it's fantastic, and I don't know, actually, yeah, let's do that. We have to do it just for the purpose of the video. Let me just take this for a moment. I'm gonna put the filter here, just so I can pour a little bit. Beautiful. Okay, let's get it back. Let's try. Oh, it smells fantastic. And it tastes just as cacao. It's insane, you see? So, without stretching the whole video, without, you know, all the talk and chat we have, literally you can create this tincture in less than 20 minutes. And you can have it ready for your party, for your bar, for your home bar, for whatever you want to use it. It's full of flavor of cacao, have the bitterness from the cacao, have the chocolate finish. It's absolutely insanely good. So, my lovely friends, thank you for tuning to Mixology Hacks. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas. And because it's every 2 weeks, I'll be seeing you after the new year. So I'll see you in 2024 with another video. It will be probably a banana liqueur or a science of smoke. I didn't decide yet, but I think banana liqueur is winning because I've already have the ingredients ready. So that's what I'm gonna be filming probably next week. So it's ready for you for the first week of January to kick off the year with a lovely homemade banana liqueur. Until then, enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your New Year, enjoy your holidays, spend some time with the family, make some cacao tincture to make some wonderful brandy Alexander on Christmas or New Year, and stay safe. And as always, I love you and I leave you. Cheers!